YouTube! What's going on, man? Back at it again with another video. It's your boy, Numbers Fan Jay. Where we at with it, man? It's a week away from NFL football, baby. We back. We made it. We made it, man. Week away from football. Today, I got sleeper teams for y'all. I got sleeper players, and I got people on the hot seat. It's hot. The seat is hot. It's time to get up. Players, coaches, teams that are under a lot of pressure this year. Some of them may lose their jobs, may be looking for new jobs if they don't perform well this year. So let's get into sleeper teams first. I got one team from the AFC, one team from the NFC. Starting off with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson is one reason. There are three reasons why that this team will be good this year. Lamar Jackson has a full offseason to work with his starters, work with his O-line on his protections, work with his receivers, build chemistry with his receivers. You know, new young guys, got Hollywood, all of those guys. Gets to build that chemistry. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder and wonder if the guy behind him is doing better than him. And he doesn't have to compete and try to get the starting job like he did last year over another starter. Joe Flacco is the guy that he took over for. So he's comfortable. He's getting comfortable. And being comfortable as a quarterback is like the number one thing that scares every defense you face, because it doesn't matter what they do. You have an answer for it. So that's one reason. Second reason, the additions of Mark Ingram and Earl Thomas. Two leaders in the locker room. They bring a different mentality to the team. Earl Thomas has won a Super Bowl before, so he knows what he needs his players around him to do. He knows what type of work ethic they need to have. He knows what they need to get done in order to reach the Super Bowl, because he's been there. Mark Ingram, on the offensive side, adds that hunger. He says that he wants 1,000 yards in a Super Bowl ring before he retires. This guy is hungry. That's the type of mentality they need in that locker room. You add that to Lamar Jackson wanting to win, like, that's scary. Third reason is their schedule. Their first 10 weeks, the Baltimore Ravens play 7 out of the 10 teams that they will play missed the playoffs in 2018. Very, very favorable. Not saying that those teams will miss the playoffs again, but that's a big number of teams that weren't that good last year that they'll be playing against. My second team is on the NFC side, the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, I got them winning. They're not winning the division. They'll finish second, is what I think. The additions of Tevin Coleman and Dee Ford. Tevin Coleman, like we've discussed before, is familiar with Kyle Shanahan's offense. So he's going to come in already knowing where the protections need to be on pass protections. He's going to know when to run out on routes. He's going to know where receivers are supposed to be. He's going to know where tight ends are supposed to be. He's going to be able to help Jimmy Garoppolo in his first full season. Hopefully, Jimmy G can be healthy for a whole season. Dee Ford is being added to the D-line with DeForest Buckner and Solomon Thomas. 2 high draft picks for the 49ers previously. So that's looking scary right there. Also, second reason, they have their first 10 weeks, 8 out of their 10 opponents missed the playoffs in 2018. So another favorable schedule here. If they can play up to par, Jimmy Garoppolo, we've seen how he's been playing pretty good. We did hear that he threw like 4 straight interceptions in practice, which isn't good, but at the same time, that might be a testament to that defense that they're bringing. So Third reason for the 49ers to be good this year is they have an early bye week. Now, a lot of people don't like that because it's early. It's like you have to play a bunch of games before you get to the playoffs in a row without missing any time. The early bye should positively impact this team because they're very young. So this bye week could get them out of injury trouble. This could get them out of that kind of, we have a lot of fluke losses in the beginning of the season. So this could kind of shake them out of that, off of those losses. It's an early adjustment week as well. So with a young team especially, sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and slow down. To be able to do this early before most other teams are able to do this could get this team rolling. Like for an older team, you want to buy later in the year. But for a younger team, a buy early in the year isn't that bad. It actually might be a good thing. So on to the sleeper players. Number one player, Christian Kirk. Second-year receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. He's learned under Larry Fitzgerald for a year. He's been in the NFL. He's learned under the legend, the living legend, Larry the Legend. Like, we know how great Larry is, how consistent he is, how he catches everything, Mr. Sticky Hands, how he performs no matter what quarterback is out there. So, also, he has something to prove coming off an injury. We know that season-ending injury he had. We know how dynamic a player Christian Kirk is. We know how fast he is, how shifty he is, what he can do with the ball in the open field, which leads me to my next point. He's in the air raid offense under Cliff Kingsbury that favors receivers that can make plays in space. We've seen a little bit of it in the preseason. They have a few kinks to work out, so we'll see. But I expect Christian Kirk to do big things for the Cardinals this year. Next, N'Keal Harry, the Patriots receiver. They drafted this receiver from Arizona State in the first round. Y'all know when the last time the Patriots drafted a receiver in the first round? You don't. Because it was 1996, the year before I was born. So the receiver they drafted that year was Terry Glenn. So a lot of y'all can't honestly say that you've seen Terry Glenn's whole career. Let's be honest. So then you add N'Keal Harry to a receiving core that features Julian Edelman, Josh Gordon, and Demaryius Thomas. All of those guys are going to take away the attention from N'Keal Harry. So we're gonna see N'Keal Harry get a lot of one-on-one matchups, and he gets to make plays. So we're gonna see. Moving on to the hot seat. On the hot seat, starting at the top, we gotta talk about Josh Gordon because we just talked about the Patriots. So Josh Gordon, like Stephen A. Smith said, stay off the weed. Josh Gordon has run out of chances, guys. This is it. He took it upon himself last season, to just step away from football, get himself together physically. The Patriots aren't going to give him any more chances. I didn't think they were going to give him this many, but they're not. I know for a fact the Patriots are not going to tolerate him another year. If he does this again, he can't keep doing this. So next we have Marcus Mariota. Titans fans, it's about that time, man. What have you won with Marcus Mariota? One playoff game? Just one? I mean, he's been in injury trouble his whole career. They brought in Ryan Tannehill, which, albeit injury prone himself, I mean, if you think about it, Marcus Mariota played half a season. Tannehill finished that thing off, and he'll get to play in the playoffs. There'll be a wild card at best with these two quarterbacks on the roster. I mean, come on, he's on the hot seat, man. His time is up. Eli Manning, I'm sick of seeing Eli Manning. He's the same as Jay Cutler in my eyes. He's been carried by his defenses several times, and that's the only reason he's still in the NFL as a starting quarterback. He's not impressive, guys. He's not. He's a big risk taker. He's not. We all know Tom Brady's the better quarterback. That's why people are making such a big deal when they say Eli beat him twice in the Super Bowl, because he wasn't supposed to. But rookie Daniel Jones should take care of that eventually. They should eventually. Like, the whole reason they brought in Daniel Jones, his ties with the organization, his ties with the Mannings, is because they're ready to move on. Plain and simple. Case Keenum. The guy that had that little pass with the Vikings against the Saints that year, and they beat them, and they got blew out the next week. That still makes me mad because I wanted the Saints to win it so bad that year. I really did. But rookie Dwayne Haskins should take care of that. So I expect Case Keenum to be a backup by week 6. Bears kickers. Should I say more? No, I shouldn't. I'm going to leave it there. Bears kickers, you're on the hot seat. Jameis Winston. We talked about how he hasn't had any success. He just hasn't had any success. He's had all these weapons, and he just hasn't produced. Jameis, your time is up, man. The seat is hot. It's hot. It's time to get up out of there. They need something new in there, man. Sick of seeing it. I'm sick of seeing it. Ron Rivera. Now, it might be a year early on Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera, 64-47-1. That's his record. 1 Super Bowl appearance, 2 division titles, 3 and 4 in the playoffs. Although he's been to the Super Bowl, losing in the Super Bowl doesn't give you that same long tenor that winning the Super Bowl does. Mike Tomlin is an example of that. Won the Super Bowl, hasn't been back since, but they're going to keep him because he has that Super Bowl ring. So he clearly knows how to get there. Ron Rivera, I might be a year early, like I said, but they need to do something this year, because if they don't do something this year, if he's not gone at the end of this season, he'll be gone at the end of next year. They need to get, I say, at least 10 wins, at least 1 playoff victory for him to be comfortable and keep his job as a head coach. The Browns / the Raiders, they're in win now mode. We know how much turnover they've both had. Raiders bringing in AB, LaMarcus Joyner, those guys. The Browns bringing in Odell, Sheldon Richardson, and those guys. They're in win now mode. They have to win this year. They just have to. I think they just have to make the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs, expect to see more turnover from whichever one of these 2 teams don't make the playoffs. So they remind me of the Dream Team Eagles a few years ago. But it is what it is. Le'Veon Bell, we all know he sat out a year, okay? That's the biggest reason that he's on the hot seat. Excuse me. So Le'Veon Bell sat out for all this money. He's healthy. He should be in the best shape that he's ever been in since he's played in the NFL. Bell cow back. Le'Veon Bell. Expected to have a big load this season. You're expected to turn this franchise around. Sam Darnold, they're building around Sam Darnold. You're expected to be the piece that will take his game to the next level. Okay? So, last but not least, the Houston Texans. Andrew Luck has retired. There are no more reasons for you to go to the playoffs and lose 1 game and be done. There are no more reasons for you to be 1 game away from winning the division and not make the playoffs. You must win this year, Houston. You must do it, or your head coach is in a lot of trouble, guys. I should have said the head coach, but I'm saying the Texans because as a team, you're expected to win. We should not be talking about next year for the Texans because you just got gift wrapped in the division. You should be thinking, all right, in the playoffs, what we gonna do? Because it should be that simple. You're the most talented team in this division right now after Andrew Luck has retired. You have no excuse, guys. You have no excuse to not do well. So that's all I got for y'all today, man. Next time y'all see me, y'all be doing prediction videos. a prediction video for week 1 of the NFL. Next Thursday, Bears Packers. You know we gonna be ready for it. I might have a special guest on here for y'all, but I'll let you know. It's your boy, Jay. We out of here.